Hi everyone, today we're going to be dividing fractions. So the way that we're going to do that is in 4 simple steps. These 4 simple steps are going to be super important that you follow or else you're going to be doing it all wrong. So when we are dividing by fractions, the first step is to rewrite the first fraction. Here's my example problem, 3/4 divided by 2/7. Okay, so I rewrote my 3/4. So that first fraction does not change. We keep that exactly the same. Yay! Then we can do step 2, which is change the division to a multiplication sign. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky and what we have to remember. We never actually really divide any numbers. Instead, what we're doing is we're multiplying. But we can only multiply if we do that step 3. And step 3 is to write the reciprocal of the second fraction and write it. This means that the numerator becomes the denominator and the denominator becomes the numerator. So this is a super important part of dividing by fractions, and if you don't do it, then you're going to get it wrong every single time. So reciprocal is taking that bottom number, or that denominator, and making it the new numerator. So 7 was my denominator, it is now my new numerator. And then the numerator becomes the denominator. So that 2 is my new denominator. So 7/2 is the reciprocal of 2/7. Now that's what allows us to change that multiplication sign, or that division sign, into a multiplication sign. So here I go. I can do step 4 now, which is solve your new problem and convert to a mixed number if needed. So I have that first fraction the same. I changed the division into a multiplication, and I'm now adding the reciprocal of that second fraction. So 3 times 7 and 4 times 2. From here, it's the same process as what we've done for multiplying fractions, which is multiplying across. So 3 times 7, which is equal to 21. And 4 times 2, which is equal to 8. Yay! We have our answer. However, it's in the form of an improper fraction. So what I need to do is make it into a mixed number. And I do that with the same process as we did before. So 8 can go into 21 2 times without going over. 2 times 8 does equal 16. And when we subtract those numbers, we're left with the number 5. For our final answer, we're taking the number at the top, making that whole number of 2. And then the fraction is made up with the remainder as the denominator. And the rewind. The remainder is the numerator, and the denominator is staying the same. So let me say that again just to make sure we have it in. The number at the top is our whole number. Our remainder is our new numerator, and our denominator stays the same. So our final answer is 2 5/8. So that is the main process that we're going to be doing when we're dividing fractions. However, when we are dividing mixed numbers, you first need to convert them into improper fractions first. So as we said in the earlier videos, going back and forth between mixed numbers and improper fractions are going to be super important. Improper fractions are used to solve, mixed numbers are used for your answer. So here's our example problem. 3 2/3 divided by 1 1/2. So same process as before. I want to take the denominator of my mixed number and multiply it by the whole number. So I have 3 times 3, which is equal to 9. And then I'm going to take that answer and add it to the numerator to get 11. That creates my new numerator of 11, and the denominator stays the same. Same process over here with the 1 1/2. I'm going to take my denominator, multiply it by my numerator, take that answer, or multiply it, well, rewind. Sometimes with these videos, I think I say something and then I feel like I said it wrong, so I'm going to go back and try it again. So with that 2, that denominator, I'm multiplying it by that whole number, so that 2 times 1 equals 2. Then I'm taking that answer and multiplying it by that new numerator, which is 1, which is going to give us 3. So again, that answer will give us 3/2 as an improper fraction. 2 times 1, that answer plus 1 to get 3/2. Yay! Now we can complete that same step, or the same steps as above. So I kept my first fraction the same. So 11/3 is the exact same. I'm not changing it. But now instead of the division, I made it a multiplication problem. But I still have to find the reciprocal of the second fraction. So instead of having the 3 as my numerator, it's now going to be my denominator. And then that 2, that denominator, becomes my new numerator. Then I can just multiply across. 11 times 2 is 22. And 3 times 3 is 9. Yay! I have my answer. However, it is not in the form of a mixed number. Instead, it's an improper fraction. We don't want to leave that improper fraction. So I am going to put my numerator inside the division box and my denominator on the outside. And we're going to divide just like what we've done before. 9 can go into 22 2 times without going over. 2 times 9 is 18, and when we subtract, we are left with the number 4. And that gives us our answer of a whole number of 2, because that's the number that's in the top of our division box. Our remainder is our new numerator, so 4. And our denominator stays the same. So 2 4/9 is our overall answer. All these steps are super important. As you can see, everybody makes mistakes. Just make sure you learn from them and correct them and do a great job. Good luck.